All right.
That's good. Just King of Alabama. You don't have to do Franklin Johnson. Okay, because you could actually go to the federal court's website. Their official United States Middle District Court website. That's a history of the federal district court. And that's why you always see, when you hear me tell you folks, they say, we'll meet at the Great Oak Tree. Well, that's where the Middle District Court used to be in like 1826. And it wasn't in Montgomery. I forgot what the state capital of Alabama was back in 1826. But people would meet at the Great Oak Tree because Alabama summers were brutal. So obviously you're not going to meet inside of a building in Alabama in August or July. You don't have any fans or air conditioning or anything. So you met someplace. So they'd all meet at the Great Oak Tree. They didn't meet here.
I put in King of Alabama in quotes, and it pulls up William R. King, April 1786 through 1833.
That's too funny. Like I said, if you go to the United States Federal Middle District Court, Middle District Court of Alabama, you will find the history of the Middle District Court. And I said, well, you know what I'll do? I'll put it on my website. How's that? Remind me sometime this week, Will, to put it on my website. And I will actually put it's only about 4 or 5 pages long, the history of the Middle District Court. It's about 3 or 4 pages long, the history of Middle District Court, of our federal court, in the state of Alabama. You know, all the nonsense they had to go through. Like they had to go through all the nonsense of the Civil War, and they had to go through the nonsense of civil rights, the KKK. They had to go through all that nonsense.
Yeah, so he presided over most of that.
That's right. So like I said, just because you get, so you kind of make sense when I said that he's the king of Alabama, and I'll show you. You know, it makes sense though, because he's like, oh yeah, he presided over all these civil rights cases. He did all these cases.
Yeah,
that's right.
What's her name? The black lady on the bus. What was her name?
What's her name? The bus. Oh yeah, yeah. So he presided over hers. He presided over her. He presided over hers. Yeah, Rosa Parks. Yeah. And I'm sure he did the wireless thing with the 3 girls, the 2 boys, 2 girls and a boy, one left in the United States, University of Alabama. I'm sure he did that one. Yeah. Like Kennedy said when he said, we're coming in, and he said, oh, my dead body. And then as soon as the U.S. Marshal showed up and gave him a court order, he said, okay. But it's like, oh, man. First he's like, oh, my dead body, you don't have to kick me, I'll die for the people of Alabama. First of all, let the feds tell us what to do. And as soon as the guy handed him a piece of paper, the governor's like, okay, and he stepped out of the doorway. He got shot anyway. Eventually he got shot and was, paralyzed the rest of his life anyway. So he should have called that boss and seen if he really shot him. He should have just said, you know what, do it, buddy, do it. So when he didn't take the bullet, I said, you know what, I can't ass. Because it was funny, one of his own people shot him from behind and crippled him anyway. Like I said, that's the lawless man. And it's so funny, man. I'm trying to find them on eBay, man. I'm trying to find either a vote for a Richard Nixon bumper sticker, or I'm trying to find a vote for Wallace bumper sticker, so I can stick it on my old 69 proud. Something that would be a history piece, like something that you would actually find on a 69 Camaro back in 1969. You'd find, Wallace for president or Nixon for president bumper sticker. I thought that'd be so funny. It's somebody say, what? Richard Nixon? Let's go with Dick in 72. That'd be funny. And so he said, what kind of bumper sticker Richard Nixon? Oh, it's just okay, that's an old car. So I'm trying to find bumper stickers from 69, 70, 71, 72. Okay, Kate, can you tell us, your phone is good, can you tell us more about how he acquired the state, or how he claimed the state? Because it was all federal funding. You see what I'm saying? So once you accept the funding, and the person who gives you the money, obviously he's got control over you. So if you want me to keep paying you money, well then obviously you better do what I say. I want to pull the funds. No, but he didn't sue the state, and no one would answer the suit. Who sued the state? Okay, the king of Alabama. How did he get No, he made the rulings, and then once he makes the rulings, the judge is just like, I'm trying to think of something like, what would be more related to a man. When you're on parole, okay, let's say you want to expunge your record. Say you want to expunge the record. What you have to do is you have to jump through all these hoops, and then you have to go back to the original judge and say, look, I jumped through all these hoops, please expunge the record. Clear my good name. And the judge will say, no, I don't care that you are compliance with every single code requirement to meet this expungement. You know what? I was the one who presided over the case, now you're still guilty. Even though the state says you got to do all this, and yes, you met all these conditions, but once you're the judge over somebody, you got jurisdiction and control. Once you're somebody's daddy, you're always their daddy. That's why I laughed at people when I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to take my case to the Supreme Court. Oh, I'm going to get a ruling. Now you're going to get an opinion, and then you're going to go back to the court of original jurisdiction, and you're going to say, look, Daddy, I even found something out there that says Supreme Court. And they said, Daddy, you're wrong. And the court of original jurisdiction, the district court judge is just not laugh at you. It's like, yeah, I don't give a rat's ass what they said up there in Washington. Go back here in my district. All right, you're in my jurisdiction, silly. And this is how we play here. I don't care how they play it up in Washington. So that's what I say to folks. Read a lot of the United States Supreme Court opinions. It's like the case is referred back to the court of original jurisdiction. So you start all over again. So I hope you enjoyed your 10 years of protesting your judge making your ruling against you because I got a tremendous victory by the United States Supreme Court. Yeah, great. What they tell you to do? Take it back to the court of original jurisdiction. So what does that mean? The judge made a ruling in September 9th, 2001. Well, this is September 10th, 2001. Well, it's 12 years later. That's right. Well, it did. As far as the judge is concerned, only one day went by. See, so that's what I'm saying. Like you say, Google John Wilkinson Jr. He's in charge of the Alabama Supreme Court, the civil division down there. And he told me, he said, you're wasting your time getting appeals heard, getting Supreme Courts to hear your rulings. He said, it's ridiculous. He said, we're just going to shut it back down to the original judge. And the original judge will probably go F off. And then you got to start the process all over again and say, Supreme Court of Alabama, wait for years to go through that nonsense and say, hey, can you force the judge to do the right thing? And then, yeah, maybe then they do it. He said, but how many years do you want to do this? He said, you want to do it 10, 12, 14, 16 years? How many years do you want to do this? Because of one judge, I forgot what his name was, Myron Thompson. It's funny, you could go to, this is a good question to ask me, because you go to Judgeopedia or Judgepedia.org or Judgepedia.com, and you could actually find the judge that runs your case, and you could find other people's opinions of that judge. And it's so funny, when I Judgeopedia Myron Thompson, you can Judgeopedia Myron Thompson, and you'll see where it says that he, yeah, he took such a long time. He took such a long time to just make a simple ruling on can this evidence be admitted into the trial. It took him over 10 years to come up with an opinion. Can one little tiny piece of evidence be accepted at trial? 10 years. So the whole hearing, the whole trial was put on hold until Myron decided to come up with a ruling. That guy has been overturned so many times. I think he's the number one judge. I think that's why they say he's not gun shy about making a ruling, is because he's been overturned so many times by the Court of Appeals in Atlanta, and we used to be the 5th Circuit, now it's the 11th, that he's gun shy. He's afraid to make a ruling because he knows somebody's going to challenge him overturn. So he refuses to basically do anything. So he figures it's better to do nothing than to get overturned again and make himself look stupid. So, yeah, but like I said, can you imagine waiting 10 years for a judge to make a ruling on evidence? Whether or not, and so the lawyer, I forgot what case it was, but you'll find it in Judgeopedia, the lawyer said, if you're waiting for this guy to come up with a decision for you, you're crazy, because the code had changed so much. In 10 years, we had to start the whole case from scratch. Wow. Yep, so because like I said, the code is supposed to change every 7 years. Because they said all the rules, everything changed. He said we have to take all our filings and start all over. So like I said to folks, man, that's why, and the way a true court of record works, they have 21 days to answer. They refuse to answer on day 22. You can tell the court clerk well, I'm going to need a room, and it won't take too long because we're going to need the sheriff, or we need the marshals to drag the wrongdoer into the court so he can speak now, forever hold his peace. For some reason, he didn't feel like speaking for the last 21 days. Maybe him being hauled in that court will loosen his vocal cords, but if not, at least he can't get a void judgment on it in 10, 20, 30 years from now, come up with some lame excuse why he couldn't answer in 21 days that his mom got sick, or he was in a coma, or he's in a shipwreck. Nope. Sheriff went out, dragged him before the court, said, now, are you going to answer this, man? Yes or no? This is your last chance. There's going to be a final judgment. Because once that's done, then they can't say, well, like, because summary judgment could be overturned immediately. The other side just has to come up with a damn excuse why I wasn't in court that day. Because, oh, well, you know, my mom was sick. I got a bump on my head. Oh, the mailman forgot to mail it. Oh, I wasn't properly served. Oh, the dog ate it. You know, there can be a million reasons why you couldn't show up that day. And they got to forgive and forget, and they got to let you take another crack at it. So who wants to deal with these? Take one more crack at you. Or let them get out of not paying you one more time. Say, oh, no, I'm done with this. You won't pay me. You won't pay me now. You got 22 days. 21 days to answer, then the 22nd day we are going to haul your ass before the court and you will answer. Or you will shut the hell up and you'll just take the ruling of the court. But it's done. I'm not waiting 10 years if the judge is going to examine one piece of evidence. It's like, that's ridiculous, and then start it all over again. And then you can't force the judge to do anything. You can't. You're stuck. You gave him control. Once you enter your paperwork document in somebody else's control into somebody else's court, you're bound by his decisions, his rules, and his lengthy delays. But as far as he's concerned, he couldn't care less. He's going to say, well, we got to make this fair and justice. And so, you know, you don't want me to go make a rash decision, do you? I said, well, sometime within this century would have been nice. Like I said, thank God, man, I love the way I do this stuff. I mean, I'm just drawing down a road. He did some, liverwurst. I love liverwurst. And like I said, it's fun, man, because all the stuff you just Google. I tell you guys, my name Thompson, Judgeopedia. Thank God Lynn actually looked up and said it's like Judgeopedia, or something like that. There's a couple of really good websites for checking out the judges. And so if you folks don't like the judge that made a ruling on you, start an account just like Wikipedia. Oh, I've read it. You can't believe how much stuff I put into Wikipedia. You have no freaking clue. And they never remove my stuff. So if you put stuff into Wikipedia that says waiting for citation, not my stuff, man. I put it in there, boom, it's like 2-3 days later, the required citation, that thing is lifted, gone, and they're like, it's good to go. Let's do this. I put a lot of good stuff in Wikipedia. It's got to drive them nuts. You guys drive those attorneys nuts, man, when they see what I do. But, you know, you don't sign your name on Wikipedia, you just put the information in, somebody at Wikipedia verifies it, backs it up, you know, certifies it, and says, yep, good to go. It's a Wikipedia. It's good. But what I did was West Virginia versus Board of Education, West Virginia Board of Education versus on that 1943. That's the one I did with Wikipedia. I love that case. That's just one I'm thinking right off the top of my head that I put in there. And that was fun. Because I think that's a hell of a case, because all that case basically was based on Jehovah's Witnesses. And all that basically saying is no matter within it says judicial constellation. So if you Google like judicial constellation, it says that no officer, no matter how petty or how high he thinks he is, can never tell a man what he can and cannot believe. Like the government, nobody who works for the government can tell us what we can and cannot believe. Say, I don't believe I owe tax. Oh, come on, you've got to believe that. Nope, I do not believe it. It's that simple. I mean, it's incredible how simple it is. It's like, who are you? Are you another man? No. Are you a government agent? Oh, bullshit. See, what I'm saying, though, what's amazing, though, is if you got to be careful. You take in front of the jury will all say, well, all 12 of us believe you have to pay taxes, and you will pay, or you will go to jail. See, so that's why sometimes you don't want to deal with your peers, because your peers somebody actually said that to me the other day. She said, Karl, wait a second, the peers that we had for a trial here in Virginia, they said they were like some of the most bored people in the world. They were like young kids. They were really bored. They had no clue. And I explained to them. They said, well, when the Magna Carta was written, what was happening is that you had like a king who maybe wasn't very say he was 6 years old, say he was 8 years old, say he was 16 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old. They were young, a lot of young kings back then. So a king would say, hey, that squire, or that knight, or that lord, or that duke, or that earl, or that whatever, he can't do that to me, he can't say that to me, he can't, and then if you want to try the duke or earl or whatever, put him on trial. It's like the duke or earl or knight would say, dude, I am totally within the code. And the king would say, no, you're not. Oh, yes, I am. So then what the duke or earl or knight would do is he'd go find the other dukes, knights, lords, earls, whatever, within that kingdom, and they would put the dukes and earls in front of the king. And then the knight would say, look, I'm a knight. Look, I just summoned 100 other knights. All these other knights know what I'm doing. So tell the king, the other 100 knights, that I'm bona fide, I'm doing the right thing. I'm acting under good faith. This is exactly what knights do and do not do. Tell them this is how we roll. The king is young, the king is new, the king's not hip to this stuff. He's not old and wise. Tell the king that this is what we do. And then the other knights would say, yeah, we're his peers, and he's acting within character. That's what it says. That's what the peers did. They get your character. They said, no, he is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's not stepping out of character. That's the definition of a knight. That's the definition of an earl. That's the definition of a lord. So it's funny, in this country, somehow they perverted it again, and they said, oh no, the people who know you can't sit on a jury. No, that's not my peer then. And that's not what peerage meant. And the people who know me best in my community, that's why you got to go to the defendant, because the defendant's got the right to call the people who know him. So if you try to sue me in Texas, obviously I don't have the people that know me in Texas. It's not supposed to be an impartial jury. No. That's a jury trial. They're impartial. No, a trial by jury is a trial by my peers. No. All these people know me. And they'll say, oh no, Karl's not acting out of character. Karl's always been this way. Karl's either always been the smart guy, or Karl's always been a retard, or Karl's always been stupid, or Karl's always been like this. No, Karl's not acting out of character. We all know him. When you deal with Karl, this is what you get. So then they said, what did Karl do to you? They said, well, you know, when I did this, and this. Well, no, that's what Karl's always done. No, this is how we roll, and how everybody in the community knows Karl. No, he's not acting out of character. He ain't done nothing wrong. So there you go. Hopefully that explains peer and peerage a little bit there, but I'm going to hang up because I'm coming on the other side of the mountain, and I'm going to lose the signal anyway. So I'll get back on in a couple. Yeah, keep the ball rolling, man. I'll be home by 7:30.